are transitioning into small weapons phase. All right, so I'm sure you guys are happy to be off the ground for a minute. But I want to encourage everybody, though, because everybody here did really well in ground. All right, and because ground forces you to use your hips a lot. You really don't have that option of kind of stepping out. You gotta have good body control on the ground. So I encourage everyone, don't just take those lessons from the ground and think of it as ground stand-up. It's not. It's all taijutsu. Use those lessons of moving your body on the ground up here. Okay? There's stuff to be learned on both sides. Arden, can you grab a knife real quick? So tonight we're going to be looking at a knife defense that I say this is, if I don't demand anybody have like techniques, like please, I just want you to move. This one I kind of almost say, I really want you to have this one. Everybody have this one because this is going to be a dangerous situation. We're going to be looking at that, and we're also going to be looking at Nagare from Takedown, all right, which means fist flow. So this situation, if I can borrow the knife for a second, is me coming in here like that. Not overly pleasant, right? My goal is to stick this in him as many times as I possibly can, over and over and over again. All right, worst case scenario. So the way I look at this, one's gonna happen. Number one's gonna happen. All right, it's just gonna be there. He may be hiding this, and all of a sudden, and maybe hopefully realize this kind of weird. Maybe he's hiding it well, and all of a sudden I got this knife coming at me. Goal is to try and not get it in me as deep as humanly possible. Most cuts with knives and stuff like that aren't really gonna hurt you. They're gonna leave a mark, but as long as you're not getting slashed across here, plunged into here, cutting a major artery, you're gonna be okay. Cuts on the arms and stuff like that. Yeah, they're not gonna be fun, but it's not gonna take you out of the fight. So one's gonna happen. My goal is to not let 2, 3, 4, 5, and 15 happen. That's my major goal. I don't want that. So Arden's gonna come in, he's gonna do that shunting. Right in there. Now, the reason 2 is happening is because 1 comes back. All right, so he comes in and do that again. Whoa, I'm grabbing onto that arm to prevent number 2. All right, so number 2 can't come back and rechamber because I'm right up in here. All right, now, obviously, I still have a knife down around here. Again, this is, not really plunging range, but that's why I have this hand here to start preventing this. All right, so now I got his arm locked up. Now, is this the greatest position in the world? I'm not gonna just stay here. It's like, oh, you're defeated. He's gonna punch me in the back of the head. He's gonna kick a knee out, and he's gonna give me a position that's gonna come in my chest. So I'm not staying here forever, but I prevented 2. So from here, I'm gonna start rolling this hand down to strengthen this arm out and really get this pickup here. And I'm going to try to put the back of his hand right next to his hip. Again, I'm turning this as far as I can. This is gonna be slightly uncomfortable, but we're gonna go slow. Picking him right up on his toes and really trying to almost snap that arm. I'm not doing this with my arms. I'm doing this with my body. Notice I almost have this tight right next to my hip, just driving this in, giving him a little bit of pain, preventing that punch. From there, I got his attention. I'm gonna step behind him, and from there, I would then break his arm, again, if it's not broken the first time. All right? This is not one to mess around with. It hurts, and we'll show you how to make it hurt more, because if I don't do this with some pain in there, he's going to resist. The thing that makes it happen to stop is the fact that this is going to be painful. That's not painful, right? That's you're still in the fight. This is painful. This is painful, right? Correct? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Be very super duper duper careful on this. I don't want accidental broken arms. I really don't. So, light. Here, get arm under, capture. You can even grab your own gi. Push down, turn. Push this in, get them on their toes. That's perfectly fine to start, just to feel it. He's got his tap hand already. From there, keep this, step behind, take them down. Okay? That's fine for right now. That's fine for right now. I just want you to be able to get through this without.
It's good.
Yeah. I want you guys to get through this without snapping each other first, and we'll go a little harder. All right, go ahead. Nice shirt, Gabby. Now I'm going to come at you, and you're just going to go here, and you're just going to whoop, instantly, both feet, same time. Turn here, here, here. And now Now there's some potential. Man, the problem is that arm wasn't there, so I'm going to keep stabbing him. Do everyone understand? Yes. This isn't the windiness of, oh, I got you. Yeah, I'm dead. This is here. Right? You understand that? Okay, let's work on that to start. Then we'll work on some other things. Good. All right, Jack. So I've seen a couple people, which it makes perfect sense because they don't want to play it this close to the knife, is they're coming out and they're like this. And they kind of step back like this, and there's a lot of gap here. Can't really get my arm in too much. Maybe I could a little bit, but I don't like the fact that this can happen. If we're down this line, I'm going to be on the other side of this line totally, but if anything, this side's going to go first. Again, I'm more just repositioning. This side's going to be back. Almost I'm like at a 45 to her. This gives me room to get this hand in here. All right, so now from here, I can start pressuring in this hand, and going from there, take it down, okay? So the angle isn't me being here, so it's right there, isn't like this. It's actually like this. This side's a little further back, because this side's the close side of the blade. I don't want that close. I want this here. My hand is here. Okay? I can't turn her well if I'm like this. So this hand, so my hand's like this. Here. So now I can get on the flat part, maybe even get the blade, and now I have all this extra rotation to put on her. Okay? So super slow. This one's going up above her armpit. This hand's here. Whoa. Okay? Practice that. Kim. So, on this arm catch, so Kim comes in, I'm not catching like this with like the fat of my arm. It's not that fat, but it's not as sharp as it could be here. I'm not holding it tight like this. I'm actually taking, which one is this?
That's your radius.
I'm taking my radius and I'm putting that right into her tricep. And I'm actually rolling my radius into her tricep, which doesn't feel wonderful. Okay? So this, and it also gives me the better angle to grab into this, because now this side it's sharper, right? You ever got choked with somebody with that right in there versus this?
Where's Lynn?
Totally different, right? So I want this sharp part to come in, hug tight, dig right in there. This is turning, and I'm not letting that up the whole time through. This thing is tight, and I'm trying to drive through this muscle to increase some pain in there, increase that response. That's one of the reasons she goes up on her toes, is because it just hurts so damn much. And again, if I'm like this, she knows I've stopped this. She's gonna just punch me in the back of the head. I got to give her something else to think about. Maybe I throw a headbutt in there, and then down. Yeah, it's something. Yeah. That radius into that tricep hurts.
It's very distracting.
And I want it to be that way. So the angle's here. That's in there. You can even rummage it around a little bit to get the exact thing. And that way you can also grab better onto your gi or your shirt or whatever. This just, it's too soft, too nice. Okay? Good. Hey, you guys are doing very well. You guys are doing very well. So on this turn in, the normal thought is to kind of use your arms so you can, because you're going behind them later. So who's got a knife? Matt? So he comes in, I've repositioned, I've grabbed, is people are coming here like this and they're trying to do it from this angle. Here, that's just arm. All right? I don't like this. He's wiggly. Pieces I like cut off. I'm going to put this to my hip. Keep the turn on, keep the pressure on. And now I'm going to take my hip. It's almost like I'm going to try to drive this right into him like this. All right, so I'm turning perpendicular to him. Got his strap. I'm trying to pick him up off the ground. I'm trying to put every ounce of energy I can to bust something in here. It's akin to like if this was like a circus tent, all right, and this is the pole, I'm trying to drive under it, all right? I'm not trying to pick him up like this. I'm trying to get it up and then get myself under it to get him up, all right? And that requires me to turn towards him to get the max amount of pressure. Plus the fact that I get to keep this close to me now. Right? It's right here. I know where it is. So now I know where to put it. If, for some odd reason, you're grabbing him like this, you couldn't get your hand like this. You don't get that full rotation. You happen to be like this. This is where this leg comes into play too, because I can drive this down into my top of my quad, the back end, and then I can push it open to get the rest. Okay? See what I'm talking about? All right, good. Jackie. So obviously, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I'm a smidgen taller than Jackie. She's gonna come in. I'm lower than her. I have to be. I have to be. This will be very hard on me to do. I don't get the momentum. I don't get the upward push, right? You're gonna get that flagpole up. You're not gonna be like this. You're gonna get under it. I'm gonna get under this here, so I can really get this tight. And then I stand up. All right? So I'm seeing everybody coming in very upright, like this. You don't have the power of the pressure. We're gonna do this from 6 feet away. You're gonna attack, I'm gonna come in. Go. Back up. This is my position. I'm down, driving this in, almost like I'm trying to bash into like a door. All right, forward leaning with this side out of the way so my hand can fit. All right, I'm diving into this thing, or I'm holding my ground. Because she's coming at me really hard. Like, okay, so switch Paul. Paul's coming at me really hard. And I'm gonna stand there and grab his arm. There's just no way. He's gonna bowl me over, right? Comes in again. I need to brace against that. And that brace gets me in the ability to then come in and do some other things. But if I'm upright, I'm gonna get nailed. So I want this in, I want this drived in like this. I want this tight, I want this shoulder. Because if I don't have this shoulder, that arm's coming back and it's coming right back into me. All right, so everyone here, down, low. Okay, then down. Okay? Good. So now the takedown. So as he comes in with that, oh, fuck you. You know, I'm driving this in. I have all this control in here on his shoulder. All right? I'm going to use that. I'm just going to shift my weight forward, and Kyle's already off balance. All my weight is now on this foot. I'm basically essentially in Hicho. I can do a lot of things with him if I want. I'm just going to put my leg, and then boom, break it down. All right? This isn't him going down lightly. There's a lot of control on his arm during that descent to the point in time where I can mash it again. I'm not trying to find this. I have it. Twisting this as far as you humanly can. Constantly. Do not let off this twist. Even as you're going into it, keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting. Then from here, see how our shoulders are connected? We're right in here. I'm going to shift my weight forward. Kyle's totally broken. Boom. Second one. You see it? Hold this tight. You love this arm. This is the arm that's keeping you alive. You love it. This isn't just a passing puppy phase. This is the love of your life. All right?
You haven't been stripping the knife from him, so
Not yet.
does the damage that you're doing to his arm pretty much keep him from stabbing you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, his arm's going to be broken. No, I mean, the first one may not break, depending here. This may not break it. It might break the elbow. It's going to rip some stuff up. You know, this is, I mean, we can try it. This is how far we can. I mean, this is not going to feel good. It's that. Boom. As he falls down, I'm just gonna push this down, and I'm gonna crush that, and he's gonna break his own elbow going down. Even if it flips into an onikadaki, he's gonna rip his shoulder off that way. I'm more than happy with that. Okay? So no, I'm not overly as concerned that he has a knife and a broken arm. You know, and it's gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of screaming. That's what's gonna throw you off. In fact, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of yelling right up now, right in my ear. Ah, and then I'm gonna be mad at that. And so as this comes down, we just, again, keep twisting. The more I twist, the more he can't change it. And then as you go, and I've transitioned slightly closer to the elbow as he's falling too, just so I can get more of a break. I'm not up as close to the shoulder. Show him that. So, all right, I'm here. As I start having him go down, I'm shifting my arm just slightly, rolling it back down this way to get closer to the elbow. So I'm closer to the elbow for that elbow break. Does that make sense? All right, so keep twisting much as humanly possible. Everyone just stand here for a second. Just stand aside. So everyone can put their hands to the side like this, right? Take your hands and turn them as far as they can go around this way. Just your hands. Now try to put them to your side. Now turn them till the palms are totally facing out and try to put them to the side. Now imagine having, so that's as far as he can get. Now imagine having something in there. It's and still going. It's gonna pick him right up off the ground, especially if I have a little bit of extra pain in there too. All right, you guys doing well. Questions so far? Change partners again, please. Someone with again a different side. So far? Okay. So we're gonna be looking at this all week. Couple other tips and tricks to this, but don't worry about it tonight. We'll look at them later in the week. Is as this is coming in here, pulling this in, getting this down here, the ability to roll in here a little bit more. You know, in case I grab him wrong and he's really tight, and I can roll and kind of get this into here.
Oh.
Elbow. I'm gonna put if I have this ability here, I can throw this elbow into, which makes it even more pleasant. So this is turning up and into him as I go to it also, okay? We'll also look at, okay, what if he started to pull, kind of maybe bicep curl this a little bit and he's here? If he's here, I'm not as concerned because I can still kind of reef down on this. I got a big lever, but maybe it's really high. Oh, and I don't feel like I can do it. Great. Onikadaki. And then we're just gonna again, almost do the same thing. I'm gonna cut around him. All right, I want that arm broken. I'm not being nice about this. I'm not being, hey, let's go down to the ground. I want that thing snapped, and I'm gonna make sure I do everything I can to do it.
For people at our level, not yours, is the onikadaki the easier technique to apply?
No, it's not. Because if I try to apply this onikadaki, look what I'm doing. I'm bringing this up by my neck. So no, I don't like that. I don't like it as a last resort. I'd rather have this down here. I know exactly where it is. I got the pressure, I got the power, I got the ear. You know, I have this knee. I can do a lot of stuff from this position. You know, I can step back in front of him. I can really mess his day up here a lot. Now I step in. Okay? So no, the only kadaki is if for some odd reason it's up here and he's above me and I can't lever this back down. All right? I'm going to sink underneath it, pull it, come back in on him, and I am going to rip this thing down. I'm going to push up on this and rip this down literally as hard as I can. So no, I don't like knives near my face. It's too pretty. All right. Somebody else, a couple people asked me, is there a reason why I'm going so high on this and not getting closer to the elbow? Okay. Reason why is if I'm here, watch where Adam's arm is by the time he starts lifting up. Right about there. Too much room. And I really want the shoulder. The shoulder controls the spine. Elbow controls the shoulder to control the spine. Why would I give myself more avenue? Because that's what I'm trying to control. All right? So I want this here. Now I control the shoulder, I can control the spine better. Do we see that? From out here, I gotta go through the shoulder. Doesn't work as well. Okay, plus, we're assuming that I got this. What if I didn't? What if I got to here? What if I was going for the elbow and I wasn't able to get totally through, but I only get to like here? Adam can absolutely pull out of this. There's no doubt about it. Okay. But come in and I get to maybe here. Pull out of it. I'm just gonna come with him. Right, so I'm working on the priority that I may mess this up. My goal is to come in here, grab this as hard as I can, even grab my gi as I turn this down. Okay, hard. Very, very hard. Other questions, thoughts? Okay, we'll give your shoulders a break. We'll work on Kanagashi from Nagare. We're still gonna do knives. I'll show you the actual classical, actually, maybe we'll play with this first. We'll go with swords for a minute. So be careful with these, because these come around to the head pretty fast. Daijo Dan. So the kata, we're gonna do, this is incredibly sterile. Okay, so please don't say, look at it, go, obviously this won't work. Yeah, I'm gonna do it in a very sterile training, so it will not work. And it will look stupid. But as he comes in, one option, or even more so, he comes in, I move out, boom. Secondary option, okay? Let's try that for a minute, it'll be fun. Yeah. So, what's gonna happen is he's gonna come in, I'm gonna move off to the side, I'm gonna place my hand here, okay? I'm gonna move forward and punch into that hand. We can be nice and hit open follow, I punch, all right? As I punch and move forward, this hand's gonna transition down to this bottom hand. So I'm basically mirroring his hands. Do we see this? I'm going to pull this hand up over this one. As I walk around him, maybe I get it on my shoulder. Okay, again, this doesn't take a lot. You should not have to fight this. If you fight this and this lets go, that person's getting a concussion. These things do hurt. Just try to get this as far as you can over and above that. With your body though. Grabbing underneath, pushing down here, pulling up here, walking around. I want it done this slow to there. That slow. Do you understand? If anybody's ever been hit in the head with a sword or a hambo or bow staff, it sucks. All right? So please go slow. Let's do the sword version for a bit. Be fun. So the name of this kata is called fist flow. All right? And really the premise of it is to have them constantly chase their fist. All right? It will look like you're hitting and turning and, taking, you'll see the similarities. Who has a knife? Arden, you got a knife? All right, he's gonna come in with that gut belly stab, boom, right? I'm gonna come to the outside here. I'm gonna, boom, does this look familiar so far? Right? Hitting him, coming in, hit. Well, obviously I have two hands, so I gotta do something different. So I'm just gonna go for, a multi-gyaku and take him down and go that way, okay? Now, what people miss here, typically, is as this comes in, they'll be here, they'll please step across this, so see the arm bar? And even the sitting on the leg. Some people will go behind, which you can do. You just got to really pressure this. I don't really recommend this because all Arden has to do is step out, switch hands, he stabs me in the belly. And I die with a multi-gyaku, So I don't like that. I want to keep this away. So I typically, as this is here, I step in front and leverage into it, maybe break it here. What I'm not doing is I'm not stepping back like this to go into the multi. Because all he has to do is do a death lunge, and that thing's going right into me. Again, don't like that. So I'm going to go out, and I'm going to have him constantly follow his hand. His hand's going to lead him. I'm never giving it back to him. I'm never once doing, okay, great, boom, 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 fall, and yeah, he's back in the fight. Right? Maybe this arm's broke, he's in a lot of pain, I might get away, but that hand's still in the fight. Maybe he's got two, I don't know. So I'm not ever going to let him have this back. It's not an option. That's the fist flow, of it. He's constantly chasing his hand. Do we understand? All right, so again, finer points, move out of the way. Whoa! Here. So this can then rewind. I'm not trying to grab his hand out of the midair. I'm trying to block. That's my first thing, because he could do something else, but I can. Once, twice. People even move, boom, break, Yakunage. And then from here, keep him coming out, constantly chasing this hand. Even when I went up, you were still chasing it. I didn't give it back to him like this. I didn't give him the opportunity to bicep curl. Make sense? Let's have some fun. Yippee. In this arm, I've slapped him here, that I'm pulling out, and it looks like I'm coming back. I'm giving him his bicep back. He's gonna stab me. I don't want him to feel like he can curl, ever. Even though I am turning back to the multi, I'm keeping him stretched out the whole time. His arm's like this. I'm never once giving him the opportunity to pull back in, because he can pull back in. If he can pull back in, he can pull the knife in, he can pull himself in. And he can put his hand right to the butt of this thing and drive it right through me. That bicep curl brings him in too. So I need him constantly chasing. You understand? I always want him chasing this hand. I'm not trying to put him in a multi on. I'm trying to get him chasing his hand. The reversal makes him a multi.
And you can be chasing higher lows as long as they're chasing.
As long as they're chasing. Just like chasing now, I was explaining acceptable too, so if you're gonna have, again, I'm not, the goal isn't having chase arm, the goal is to break the arm in the first place. All right, so when I'm here, again, I'm here above the elbow, close to the shoulder. All right, because right now, for Paul to do something, he would need to pull all the way back. Great, I know this technique. Right? I know that position. If he comes all the way around, because that's great, I know that position, right? But if I'm above his elbow, here, all I have to do is break that elbow, hit me in the face, and he's gonna cut me. So I'm here, blocking this to give him a very long path, or a path that I know will be his destruction. As I come down on this, I'm purposely trying to catch him like this, so I can alter his elbow to where I want it, right? Because I don't want to hit him like this. I don't want to do damage. I want to turn his hand so I hit his elbow like this, hyperextended Gyakunage style. I want to bust this thing. So as this is coming in, I'm turning this around so I know all my weight is going right, and I'm pulling this back to this hip. I've done it once or twice. I'm gonna make sure that thing breaks. If he flips, great, whatever, I don't care. Then, or at the same time, I'm hitting him. Now I'm trying to mash this thing. Take this, pull it back here. It's thumbs don't have a lot of lateral pressure strength this way. That's typically how people grip. Great, get right in there. Pull that right out, pull that off. And then keep going. Okay? And if he's following his arm that has a broken elbow, you're gonna have a good chance leading, and it will prevent the pullback because you won't have an arm to pull back with. All right, but don't get me wrong, I'm trying to break that thing right then and there. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Good. Can I get at it? Yeah, but I really don't like the fact on this bar up. I'm next to Paul, sitting on his leg, I'm up in his shoulder. Remember, I want to control the shoulder, right? This just happens to be extra. Can't do that from here. I pull as hard as I can, he's just staying there. This is out. Now I can make the bear growl. Okay, this is good. Now we got other options. We can work from there. But there's no space here. As this comes in, I may be even pushing this out. I'm stepping through. Here, this is tight. You could even go down to the ground from here. We may look at that later in the week. I can still punch him out there, perfectly fine. I don't have to have this tight to punch. And alter his leg a little bit. Yeah. Understand? No space. No space, please. Go. This is, he's out. Whoa! You know, and now I have a long way to go. Right? I either got to go around or I got to pull back, to which he has answers for. But I happen to be there. I thought I had him. And just maybe as I start to go, he comes, step in as you do that. Push my arm forward as you do that. Timing, delay this another quarter of a second, use this, push more.
Okay.
There we go. Now you get more weight and more offset on me, right? Because once you grab the arm, you kind of stop the forward momentum to a point, right?
Yeah.
If I grab this arm now, I'm kind of holding it back. I'm more focused on getting it as I go. These are almost connecting at the same time to get the maximum push on you. Okay? Yep. I'm not trying to go, because I'm holding his hand back, but I'm trying to go through it. Contradictory motions, right? I'm trying to hold your hand here, but yeah, I'm trying to go through it, but I need to go forward. I need to put your hand out like that. I don't want it that far, right? So this is pushing, slowly coming, and this is all meeting at once. Does that make sense? Right. Okay, so attackers, make sure you try to stab him. Go ahead, come on, miss. Nice job. All right, come on, let's circle up. All right. Good to be back standing up, stabbing each other. It's been a while. Throwing stuff at each other's heads. This is great. Questions, thoughts. Those are two relatively simple things, I guess, in terms of, proximity. Oh, here comes Limpy. Oh, she's playing it up. Don't let her fool her. Yeah, she's found out that this works. Someday Limp comes on, even it's like, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, she went for a long walk today, so her leg's hurting her. So I'm gonna start getting her some extra strength doggy CBD or something. But they need to be simple and they need to be effective because you got a knife coming at you at warp speed, right? This isn't the time to have 45 different moves to disengage the knife. It's not going to work. You're going to get cut more and more. You got to finish this pretty fast and quick. So if we can incorporate pain, angling, the whole 9 yards, and breaking this as quick as we can, great. Making sure it's not able to be taken by the other hand. The whole 9 yards, and both of those had those. That's why I really kind of like, especially this upper arm one, because you can see how you can transition back into it if something does go wrong. So this is one I kind of want you, the first one is one I really want you guys to have. I don't insist on a lot. This one I kind of insist on. All right. And other thoughts, questions?
Just what you were pointing out at the end, having everything be more all at once is very helpful. But, it takes time to get there.
It does.
And doing training speed, I think, it reminds me of an old guy saying we're doing a disservice sometimes by not having the intent there and not having the ferocity once in a while, just to reset your partner.
Well, and especially in knife, right? Because a knife attack isn't going to be like, hey. Isn't going to be like, hey, I'm just going to cut you. Like, you have some guy trying to grab you, right? Knife is going to be coming in hard. It's going to be coming in fast, with determination. And so we don't have to go fast, but we need to have the determination. We need to know that we're giving that partner the real training experience coming in here. It doesn't have to be the point in time where we're ripping each other's arms off, but it can be, hey, it's just not gonna fly. It's a bad training experience. So knife is one of those ones your uke is super, super, super important. So, you guys did awesome. Give yourself a round of applause. We'll be doing this all week.